This is Roland Pruitt. Oh, my mic is muted. Am I on now? Okay. This is Roland Pruitt, and this is the Kaiju review, and we are now going to review a fan favorite, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla II, which was from 1993. It was part of the Heisei series, and it has a lot of Godzilla fighting action. As a matter of fact, the last 30 minutes of the movie is just almost all Godzilla fighting action. So it's a fan favorite. So let me bring up Professor Wallnott, and we are going to talk about Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2. Now, when I
Yes.
first saw this movie, I didn't like the Mechagodzilla in it all that much. But watching it again this past week and studying it a little more, I kind of like it. It's a kind of a smoother rendition of Godzilla, and he's got the belly button plasma cannon. So um, he's got his bonuses, and of course the Garuda goes over his back with the cannons over his shoulders, which is kind of cool. So and yeah,
Yes,
so it's an interesting installment.
it is. It's quite an interesting design as well. I thought, although the big plasma cannon looks like suspiciously like a camera lens, but you know,
Yeah, and again, he kind of rears back and it's kind of a strange kind of belly bomb.
yeah,
Laser, whatever you want to call it, plasma laser,
yeah, the
whatever.
plasma cannon thingy. Yeah,
But
yes,
he's actually a very efficient Godzilla damaging Mechagodzilla. All
yes,
the Mechagodzillas, did some damage to Godzilla, really.
yes, yes.
This has got the G Crusher, which I I'm sorry, they just didn't want to come right out and say we want to get Godzilla by the nads. They're calling it a brain, which is kind of in his nad area,
Hmm.
and it's his nads. Let's face it. So let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and get into our timeline. Uh, TriStar released it in America, believe it or not, and made for interesting credits at the end of the movie. More of a kind of a disclaimer. And we start with the head of Mecha King Ghidorah from an earlier movie that they saved, and they used the technology from that to create a Mecha Godzilla to fight Godzilla, and that makes sense. That's a good story point. And
Yeah,
they show the different organizations that are working on Mecha Godzilla and G Force, which of course, is the military force that fights Godzilla, and so there, this guy is an Italian actor, and he's all through this. And they
mhm.
evidently really like the guy because he's got a lot of scenes in this. And they talk about the Mecha King Ghidorah and then the Garuda, which they became obsolete, and they decided to make a Mecha Godzilla, and that's what we
And
see.
there it is.
Yeah, before the credits there, before the title
Yes,
card.
yes, with its big glowing red eyes, or sort of orangey actually.
Yeah, he's got kind of orange eyes.
Yeah, but
Rodan.
it's
They actually call him by his real name, which is Radon.
right
In
on.
this, even in the English version, they call him Radon, not Rodan. And
Yes.
he actually pokes one of those out for a little bit at the end of the film. So we get the title card: Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2. Um,
The revenge.
I don't think that says Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2. I think it just says Mechagodzilla. But it's confusing because there's already a film called Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla from 1974, and
Right. Yeah.
I think the fans made up the calling it Part Two,
Yeah.
and to
Although,
kind of, in confusion. I just call it
Right.
Godzilla versus Godzilla 1993.
Right. Yeah. Well,
So
it, also I think part of the confusion is, this isn't actually a sequel to that one. It's a continuation of this era's
right,
uh,
Heisei,
the
which
Heisei
is kind of
series.
another dimension. This is like Earth 2,
Right. Yeah.
and then when they come up with the Millennium series, it's like Earth 3. And the fans started to hate that. They started to, it's like, oh, come on, will you stop changing? Uh, but no, the sequel to Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla was actually Terror of Mechagodzilla, where they
Right.
used which is still my favorite Mechagodzilla. I love the design of the original. Kiryu, yeah, I liked him better than I liked this one before, but now I think I like this one better than Kiryu because at least this one can fly by himself. He doesn't have to be airlifted, which I thought was like that was like a step backwards to me.
Hmm.
So here is the team that basically brought about Mechagodzilla, and they're looking over their creation.
Admiring their work.
Mm. And then there's a guy who is talking to a lady reporter. I think she's a lady reporter. And the guy that's in charge of Garuda, which is now obsolete, he's like, "Oh, hey, I got a chance to talk to somebody important." And he runs out there. He gets his he puts on a lab or he takes off his coveralls,
Hmm.
which make him look like a worker. And he
Yeah.
goes out there in a jacket and tie, and the other guy's like, "Well, you're obsolete, and you're going to G-Force." Makes him look bad.
Yes.
He's a douche. There's a lot of people that are mean to this guy.
Yeah.
The character's name is Kazuma Aoki. Aoki. Um, so yeah, he's got to go to G-Force, which is not bad because he wants to fly. And there's his boss, Commander Takaki Aso, and he is an asshole. In the beginning of this film, he is man, he's tough,
Okay. He
kind of a
is.
tool.
Yep. Yes, he's like no nonsense sort of military type, and you're gonna
Yeah.
toe the line, mister.
Hey, you actually sounded like one of those actors that does the American voices for those. That was very good.
Thank
Um,
you.
in the old days, in the Shawa series, they used to get people like Key Luke to do voices and George Takei. Oh my! There's actually a professor in this called Oh my. I think it's Oh my, but we were joking before the show. Oh my,
That, that
George Takei.
yes. So,
It's Godzilla.
oh no.
So he's going through training here. His boss is making him go through a really
Quite
rigorous training.
right. Yes.
And he's getting his butt kicked, and he's falling asleep during lectures, and he's basically kind of a screw up. Then we go to the island. I think it's Ogasawara Island,
Right.
uh,
Yes.
where these scientists, the professor, oh my, and his assistant, Azusa Gojo, played by the lovely Ryoko Sana, um, they find dinosaur eggs. One of them is broken open,
Right. Yes.
and the other one is intact. It's whole. And they strap it into a helicopter. They're going to take it back, and it's got some plant life growing on the underside of it. Prehistoric plant life. So evidently it's been buried for a while, but it was uncovered and they found it. Some people reported it to them and they came and took a look at it. And then Radon shows up.
Hmm.
I should have. You know whose birthday it was yesterday? George in Japan. I should have told him to come and join us on
Oh
this.
yes. Yes. This would have been
George,
yes.
we have some footage. I went to Japan over the summer. That's one of the reasons why I wasn't here for a while. And we went to the Godzilla theme park on the island there, close to Osaka, and
Mm,
it was a lot of fun. And we got a lot of good video, and we're going to show that later on some of the later shows. I hope.
nice.
And George was there with me, and it was nice to see him, and we had a lot of fun. So Rodan comes, and he's causing all kinds of trouble for these people. He's
Hmm.
flying over and causing their tents to catch fire, and
Hmm.
they're like, "Oh my God, let's run over this way!" And then they run, and they get to a cliff, and it's a cliff. And then the egg starts to glow red, and she, Azusa points that out to the professor. He's like, "Oh, that's peculiar." And we find out later that what's inside, when he gets scared, his eyes light up red. So when he's scared, the egg turns red. So again, Rodan is causing all kinds of mayhem. Radon, they actually call him Radon in this, which is cool because that's his real name. And again, he
Hmm.
starts the camp on fire, and they go to the cliff, and there's nowhere else to go, and they're like, "Oh, we're doomed."
Oh, well, it's nice to know you people.
It was nice working with you.
Nice working with you.
People
But
start
then,
ends. It was very nice working with you. And then the ocean starts to glow, and a Godzilla beam comes out and hits Rodan. Radon.
I don't. This is, I thought this was a great introduction to Godzilla. You know, where all you see is the beam come out, and
You know
oh
what that
no,
is? It's
right?
blue. It curves. I know what that is.
Yeah.
And then
You know,
Godzilla comes out of the ocean.
yes.
They try to make it a dramatic entrance, um, but let's face it. When in your third movie you come out of an iceberg, and in your fourth movie your tail pops out of the ground like a giant worm and rolls around, and then you just kind of shake yourself out of the ground and shake the dirt off. That was a great entrance. Those are
That
great
was
entrances.
that was a great entrance. Yes.
Um, I think it was Godzilla versus Biollante where he comes out of the volcano, and he
Yes.
steps out of the volcano. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool entrance. But this, jumping coming out of the ocean, that's kind of standard.
Yeah.
Um,
But the
so
beam, but showing the beam first, I thought was really cool.
yeah, that was a nice little intro. Um, this is nice that we see kind of Rodan's power. His flying over
Right.
and
Yes.
the water and everything. The special effects in this one are really good. Really, really good.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see Radon after so long. Um, he was kind of a footnote in the last couple of movies that he was in. He really didn't get much to do. And we really haven't had a fight with Radon and Godzilla since 1964, which was Ghidorah, the three-headed monster,
Hmm.
which is a nice fight. And this one is a nice fight. This one is an even better fight. I think it's not a silly kid fight. It's more realistic.
Oh
Um,
yes.
it's a good fight, and Radon in this gets powers that he has not had before, and we'll go
Hmm.
into that a little more later. Which is kind of nice, that they've given him a little more than just flying over people and pecking them in the head,
Or
which
he
he
does a lot
does.
of, yeah. He pecks poor Godzilla here quite
Yes,
viciously.
he does. Godzilla hits him with his beam, his heat ray, as they call it. It's so funny at the end of this movie. Um, Radon gets a heat ray. It's a red one instead of a blue one.
Hmm.
And a guy that's inside Mechagodzilla, he's like the second in command. He looks over at his commander and he goes, "It's a heat ray." So he's like the master of the obvious.
Thank
He
you,
does
Lieutenant
that
Obvious.
at the end of the movie. He's like, "Oh, it's Godzilla." Well, yeah, of course it's Godzilla. Yeah, it's a heat ray. Yes, it's obviously a heat ray. He does that a lot anyway. And it's not the girl. The Catherine Berger is the name of the character. She's to the commander's left for most of the movie in Mechagodzilla, and she's played by Shelley Sweeney, who I'm sure does a lot of conventions and stuff and signs, and she's got some good lines. Okay, so again, Godzilla fights Radon, and they're able to actually make a run for it to the helicopter where the eggs are even strapped in, so they get away in the helicopter. And because Radon is fighting Godzilla, he doesn't get to get the egg. And he wants the egg not to eat it because he knows his son is in there. The son's egg was placed with the Radon egg. What did the professor call that? A parasite.
Parasite egg.
Egg. Yeah,
Right.
where the mother will take care of it, and then when it hatches, it's like, oh, that's not my kid. So on television, they talk about the egg coming back and prehistoric egg and all, and that's right up Kazuma's alley. He loves pterodons, and he thinks it's a pterodon egg. And they talk about Radon, and he's like, oh my God, but Radon is alive. There's a live pterodon, and we got this egg, and I got to see it. So he goes and starts taking pictures of it. And of course, Azusa, Gojo, is in the lab there with the egg, and she's doing all the science stuff with it. And she's like, what the hell are you doing? I mean, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here.
Right, yeah.
So she boots him out.
She's
and he actually steals one of her samples of the plant life.
right,
Which is
yes.
what a crappy thing to do. Get her in trouble.
Yeah.
And he actually hits on her here, and she's like, you're about to get a smack in the face, mister. So, there's something about a girl in a lab coat. So they've got time-lapse photography on the egg, and sometimes, again, the egg turns red. And they're trying to figure out why. The professor's trying to figure out why. And he kind of comes across an idea, which is that the egg is afraid at times,
Right.
whatever's in the egg. We have a scene where they're on the phone together, and she realizes he has taken one of her samples, and she's furious with him. And she goes, you better bring that back now, mister. And he's like, oh okay, I'll mail it to you. He's an idiot. They want you to like this guy, but he's such a mess up. He really is. And this is where the professor tells her about his theory about the egg. And whatever's inside sometimes is afraid, and that's when the egg, turns red.
And also, I think you mentioned something about how animals will, when they're born or whatever, they'll identify with whoever they see in front of them as their mother or whatever.
Right. When he hears her, like,
it's gonna be you.
Yeah. Yeah. The egg seems to be okay when he hears her, Azusa.
Right. When he hears her voice, yes.
He might think that she's the mother. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Finish off that drink. Little strawberry watermelon there. And he's getting ready to mail the sample back to her instead of just take it over to her, which is the right thing to do. That's like breaking up with a girl over the phone, Yeah. You shouldn't do that. You should, you should go and meet the problem head on. But anyway, she's interested in the sample of plant life, and she touches it, and she's like, wait a minute, I'm getting something off of this. It's very weak, but I'm getting something. Let's take it to the institute. But I gotta really mail this to the girl. Okay, we'll go.
Now this young lady, I mean, she's been in previous. She's a little psychic girl.
Is Mechagozilla. She's an empath. She senses Godzilla.
Right.
And in the later films in the Heisei series, Godzilla Jr. which is called Baby Godzilla in this movie. You call it Baby Godzilla. And then Godzilla Jr. She's played by Megumi Odaka, and a very cute girl. I love her ears; they're adorable. And we were
Yes,
talking about that before the show.
she was very, yes, they are very cute, very prominent.
Just one of those petite Japanese girls. It's very cute. Anyway, I digress. She goes to the institute run by um, Chief Hosono, played by Tadao Takashima. Now, Tadao Takashima, if you don't recognize him, he's very old here. When he was younger, he did a lot of the Showa series Godzilla films, or Toho films, I should say. He did King Kong versus Godzilla. He's one of the guys who goes to the island. He's the professor that runs the experiment on the island in Son of Godzilla. And he's done some other stuff as well for Toho. So he's a very recognizable face. He's done a lot of that stuff. The kids all put their hands around the sample there, and they hear music coming from it. And they repeat the music. They kind of hum it, sing along, and it because there's no moth. It's kind of a Mothra thing. You know how the music gives Mothra power, and they chant to it and stuff like that. That's kind of what's going on here, but there's no Mothra.
No.
And it turns out that it's actually a song for Radon. And it gives Radon power. And when the baby inside the egg hears it, it's scared. Even though Radon is kind of its half brother, they explain in the film, because it's been put in next to Radon in the, I'm not going to say the nest, but in the area where Radon's egg was. So they're kind of like half brothers. So anyway, he takes the music to Professor Oh my, and he plays it for him. And in the next room, the egg starts to freak out. The egg starts, changing color, and there's power coming off the egg, and the machines that are connected to the egg are going crazy. And Azusa watches the egg hatch. And she calls really quickly Professor Oh my, and she goes, "The egg's hatched." And he goes, "What?" And he goes running in there with Kazuma and some other scientists, and Miki is there. And we see what clearly looks like a Godzilla foot coming out, but a smaller one coming out of the egg. And it's not a Radon. It's a Godzillasaurus. And that's what Mickey is saying there. Oh, this is a Godzillasaurus.
What?
What are you talking about?
I have to say, the Azusa rather. She's awfully calm through this whole thing. I mean, this giant egg is just hatched. This little dinosaur-looking thing comes stomping out, and she's just kind of staring at it like, "Oh, well, that's
and again,
interesting."
this is around the time Jurassic Park came out, and the raptors that are about the same size, were like tearing into people.
Yes.
So yeah, you should be afraid of something like that comes out.
Well, yes.
But no, he's in this scene. He's like sniffing her and licking her, and it's kind of awkward. I mean, who wouldn't, right?
Exactly. Who can blame it?
And she feeds him some roses, and
and then dogs go berserk.
Yes, they hear that music, Radon music, and they go nuts. So all of a sudden, Miki goes, Godzilla. Every time Godzilla shows up, she's like, oh, here he comes. He's coming. So she's kind of like the Deanna Troi of Godzilla Heisei series. And sure enough, Godzilla's on his way.
He's on his way, yes.
He's on his way to Kyoto. which is where they are. And later, it's determined that yeah, the Godzilla, baby Godzilla, is sending some kind of signal that's getting through to him, and he's coming for him.
Of course,
So
Godzilla doing what he does, rampaging through the cities and destroying things.
yeah, and again, they go with the cheap, like oil refinery kind of next to the water kind of thing
Yes.
for him to destroy. There's not a lot of buildings. It's just like it's explosions, but not really a lot of set to destroy. So it's cheaper.
Yeah.
And put a little
The
map shot
Japanese, yeah,
showing people, with video cameras and stuff, videotaping them and all.
right. People panicking. Yes, the Japanese oil industry hates Godzilla just with a passion.
And he
We can
obviously
never,
hates,
we can never make
he
enough money.
hates fossil fuel,
Yes.
and for good reason. It's going to be him someday.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So, what am I looking at here?
Oh well, they activate Mechagodzilla. It's
Oh
like
yeah,
it's
they
time to
put up.
go.
Okay, everybody get into Mechagodzilla. It's time to go. Here he
Right.
comes. So dun 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 dun, and of course they point out that Kazuma is not there. Where is Kazuma? That useless. So now, the original Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, farted to fly from the bottom of his seat. At least he farts from his butt in this, and there's a little back, back action
Yes. Yes. Yes.
where
Yes, some rockets
rockets
propelling him.
are firing. Yes, but there's a
Yeah,
nice rocket at his butt that's firing, and that kind of
yeah,
makes sense.
exactly. This whole scene, the run up to Mechagodzilla taking off, it reminds me very much of the Thunderbirds.
Really,
Yes. Oh, the Tracy family getting into their
that
ships, but
was my impersonation of the Thunderbirds.
that was
Okay,
that was
let's
very
go.
good. Yes.
This next shot coming up, I love this. It shows him flying by Mount Fuji,
Right.
and I
You
think there's
can't
even
have,
a bullet train there, and it shows that he's faster than the bullet train.
yes, but the train goes by. Yes, I mean you can't have a kaiju movie without the obligatory requisite shot of Mount Fuji somewhere. I think it's I
Even
think it's written into
today.
it's into law.
So Godzilla's coming through some wires, some high tension wires, and then yeah, he hits a racetrack. Because Godzilla likes to gamble.
He's putting some bets down. Yes, yes,
And then there's like a little carnival he's heading at.
yes. Which is interesting. Okay, so there he is. There's Godzilla by the
Mm.
carnival. But when Mechagodzilla lands, right in the middle of
They're out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
nowhere. There's no circus. There's no nothing. It's just there's the high tension wires again, but
in grass. And that's because of the budget. They didn't want they didn't
well,
want to
yes,
have a whole bunch of buildings to knock down and stuff like that. It's just easier to do this stuff. This
right,
is why Godzilla's Revenge takes place on an island, and Son of Godzilla, um, and Godzilla versus Ibra. Those films are shot entirely, like with foliage and
right.
mountain foliage and rocks, and it's just much easier and cheaper.
I love the look.
So yeah, that's why this scene happens here. Now they
Yeah,
did build a nice big set for the last fight scene, which takes place for like the last 30 minutes of the film.
hmm
So and it's funny, they're very careful not to destroy a lot of buildings at once. They're like, okay, how about take out that tall tower? Let's have Rodan fly into it.
yeah.
Random.
Right. I like the even though I mean I like the expression on Godzilla's face here when he sees Mechagodzilla. Like, what What's this crap?
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. All right. Okay, I get it. I see what you're doing here. Yeah. Godzilla in this, um, he's very reminiscent of Showa Godzilla. I feel. I got
Yes.
a lot in this, and it's funny. He's very expressive, and it's like you say. He shows no interest. He's like, what the hell is this?
Hmm.
You know, he kind of, and when he defeats Mechagodzilla, he just kind of walks past him. You know,
Hmm.
like okay, take that. So anyway, um, ah, uh, initiate awesome backlighting. And that pisses off Godzilla. Hey, your backlighting's better than mine. Um, and we see the guys in the boardroom going, "Okay, we're ready. Let's okay, kill him, Godzilla." Yeah, and those orange eyes. So yeah, he hits him with the rays, and it obviously annoys Godzilla. Doesn't really hurt him all that much at this point, but it annoys him. Godzilla hits him with his rays, and he's got a diamond coating on his skin that reflects or deflects Godzilla's heat ray,
Hmm.
and it's working here. They're taking very little damage from Godzilla's hits. And there's his mouth lighting up for some reason. Now the belly opens up, and you mentioned before the show here that it looks kind of like a camera lens. This is the
Hmm.
plasma cannon, and it's a belly button
Yeah.
cannon. It's basically what it is. He lifts
Hmm.
up his shirt and goes, "Take this." It's kind of like a beer belly cannon. And he actually later on he kind of actually backs up so the belly is poking out, and the general likes it. The general's
Yeah.
happy. Yeah, my belly looks like that. So they hit him with a kind of an electro charge that shoots out of his arms.
They're basically they're basically tasering. They're
Yeah,
basically it's like a
it's a
taser.
taser. You're right. And later it's called the G Crusher. But we'll go into that later, what it really is. But yeah, it's tasering him. I call it the Nad Crusher, but we'll explain that later when we get to it. So yeah, it's zapping him and it's tasering him, and he goes down, and he's got foam coming out of his mouth and stuff, and that's looking bad. But he is Godzilla. He's very powerful. So just when Mechagodzilla feels like that team feels like they've won, Godzilla surprises them by shooting some of that voltage back at them. He's figured out a way to do that. And it stuns Mechagodzilla. It kind of shuts down some of his activity, and he's able to get close to Mechagodzilla and pelt him, pound him.
He pushes them over. He just goes.
Okay. And then he walks past him. Yeah, take that. And the guys in the boardroom are like, okay, that didn't work. It's going to take weeks to fix him now. Great. And they're like, where is he going? He's going to Kyoto. And they send out the military, and they all know what's going to happen here.
Mhm.
These guys are just pawns that are going to be wiped away by Godzilla soon. You got maser cannons, you got the tanks, you got the aircraft.
Yeah,
But we know
all the
this
usual. Yes,
work.
and I thought this was funny. All right, so we've sent out our big badass Mechagodzilla. It gets wiped out.
But
Sure, let's just send in the army. Yeah, what the heck?
just in case, for backup, let's send in those 4 military guys that never win. So yeah, Godzilla makes short work of them. And the guys in the boardroom are like, yeah, well, we knew, but hey, slow him down. So he gets to Kyoto, and the people in Kyoto are not happy. He takes out Kyoto Tower because that's what they do in these films. They take out,
Mm.
landmarks, and they go, okay,
Landmark,
Godzilla
of
needs to
course.
destroy it in this film. So he takes out Kyoto Tower. And there he is at a resort. They're like, oh, you're busy. You want a drink? Can we make you a drink?
No, all right.
How about sauna? Do you like sauna? So the guys at the institute where the baby is are like, hey, maybe the baby's like sending him like a signal or something, and that's what's bringing him this way. So let's put him
Go.
downstairs. Let's take him into the basement. And sure enough, he comes right up to their building, and they take the kid down to the basement, which is actually it's one of those a couple of miles down kind of basements. And he gets to the building, and the signal's gone, and the baby's eyes glow red, and that's when we realize that that's why the egg was glowing red, was because when he's scared, his eyes glow red.
Mhm.
And Godzilla pounds the building and then turns away and walks back where he came, walks back to Kyoto,
Mhm.
and
And
it becomes night.
it very quickly because he walks off. It's daytime. Next scene, it's night. Yeah.
This happens a couple of times in this film. They send out Mechagodzilla in the last half of the film for the big battle at the end, and immediately they cut to a shot of Radon, who's just come back, and it's night. It's like there's no explanation. It just turns night from one shot to the next. So they do that here too. And the newspapers go, yeah, he's gone back into the ocean, and this is the boss, Commander Takaki Aso. And he is explaining to Kazuma, our hero, our fearless hero, that he is now on parking duty. He's parking lot uh,
I just
security guard.
he throws his piece of paper, throws him this like paper airplane, and it's like,
Yes, a
oh,
piece of,
guess what?
hey, flyboy. Woo! Yeah, he throws a paper airplane at him, and it's his orders to go to the parking lot. I will say that, and it's not in the timeline here, but the other guy that trashed him at the beginning of the film that says, oh, yeah, well, Garuda's obsolete, blah, 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 you're going to G-Force. That guy walks into the office now, and he's like, oh, you! And yeah, this is kind of to let us know that he's going to work on Garuda again, even though he's probably not supposed to.
Hmm.
So anyway, they put Baby in a special area where Godzilla can't hear any, thing that he emits. And it's like a little zoo area, and it's a nice little area for him.
Yeah.
And the
Hmm.
general and the prime minister, I think he's prime minister, right?
I
Yeah, Minister
believe so.
Minister Takayuki and General Hyodo are like, this is the very important Godzilla Jr.
Hmm.
And the way they say it, it's kind of creepy. And Azusa catches on that right away, like, huh? What?
Hmm.
Why all of a sudden you're so interested in Baby Godzilla? And it's because they've got evil plans for Baby Godzilla later.
Hmm.
They're going
Don't
to
they
use,
always? Now,
yeah.
isn't the minister a veteran of these kaiju movies?
The minister is actually Kenji Sahara, who's in a lot of the Showa films. He's in almost all of the Showa films somewhere. He was a big character in the early ones, and as the years wore on, he would do like a cameo, like in Revenge of Godzilla, he's the kid's father who's a train conductor, and yeah, or a ship captain or something like that. So yeah, Kenji Sahara, I think he's still alive, which is amazing. He's got to be like close to 100. But he's like the only one from the Showa series that's still alive. And of
Wow.
course, Linda Miller from who's in her 80s, because she was like 19 when she did King Kong versus Godzilla. I'm sorry,
Right.
King
Yeah.
Kong Escapes.
Fox
Um,
Steaks.
So yeah, I mean, it's amazing that he's also one of the few actors that was actually in the Gamera films and Godzilla movies. They used him. So an amazing actor with a lot of good stuff under his belt. Um, so here we see Garuda, and Kazuma is working with Garuda again, and the professor, one of the professors, oh shoot, I didn't write his name down. I should have. Anyway, the Italian actor. um, they show him working on Mechagodzilla, and Kazuma is keeping an eye on him. Now they have a kind of a like a board meeting here for all the higher ups and the generals and stuff. And they've used the baby Godzilla. They've probed and prodded him, and they found out that he has a second brain, they call it, um, in his crotch region. Now, I'm sorry, but they just didn't want to come right out and say, we found his nads. That's my feeling. So, like, we destroy the nads, he can't walk anymore. But they're calling it a quote brain, a second brain.
Second brain, yes.
Yeah, you know, our penis is
And
second brain, and without our penis, it's hard to walk. So yeah, I think, excuse me, I think it's just nads. Sorry. So they decide they're going to use that with, and they've created a G crusher, which is the taser part that they're going to use that to destroy the nad sacks. Now the professor from Italy, he is being held hostage by Kazuma, who says, "Hey, I want you to watch this video that I made showing, you know, how we can use Garuda and connect it to Mechagodzilla." And he's like, "Yeah, that'll work. That's pretty good. Yeah, we'll do that."
I thought that was kind of, I mean, just to kind of move the story along, that there wasn't a big argument or like, oh, that's impossible. And it's like, yeah, that sounds fine. Yeah, let's do that.
So Kazuma is back in the relevant again. He's back in action. So he goes and sees Azusa, who he's kind of fond of now, and he shows her his new toy, which is a electronic flying pterodon. And he takes her for a little joyride, gives her a nice little crash helmet, and hang on to me, baby. And he takes her up over the baby Godzilla cage. And then, of course, an engine misfires, and they end up crashing. And luckily, there's a lot of hay in there. And he's like, I'll put this up for now. I'll fix it later. And then the kids show up because they all want to see baby Godzilla. The kids from the Institute. And then, as usual in these kind of movies, they sing to baby Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
And they sing the Radon song. And back on the island, Ogasawara Island, Radon hears the children's song, and it gives him power.
Now, you would think.
It revives him.
You would think, all right, the last time we played this song, Godzilla shows up.
Yeah.
I guess they thought, oh, well, we're in this special enclosure. They're going to sing, but nothing's going to happen. And then, yeah, Radon shows up.
Yeah. It wakes up.
Baby Godzilla goes, yeah.
And baby Godzilla goes berserk.
Mm-hmm.
So they know it's okay. We probably shouldn't sing that song. That's probably not that good. He doesn't like it. And again, he gets these red electricity flame-like powers. He's glowing, and he's strong again.
Yeah.
And
it's very much like almost. He's very sort of Phoenix-like in this moment.
Yes. Very
and
good.
Then he's got magic fairy dust shooting out of his butt.
Yes. It's magic fairy dust Radon. Actually, this is called fire Radon.
Ah.
So it's Radon in the beginning, then fire Radon.
Mm-hmm.
And there is Mechagodzilla, and then there's Super Mechagodzilla when the Garuda gets on his back. Anyway, they have another meeting where they talk about using Baby Godzilla as bait. Miki Sagusa and Azusa Gojo are not down with this plan, but the general tells them, "You will do as you're told." And the minister says, "Oh, yes, I understand your concern, but you must do as you're told." Basically, they're telling them, keep in line. You're women in Japan. In a time where women walk behind men, that kind of thing. So there it is. And the women are not happy about it. But there it is. So when it comes time to load Baby Godzilla into a truck to use him as bait, he's scared. His eyes start glowing red. Azusa decides, I'm going to go in the truck with him. And at first they're like, not a good idea. But that lasts about 2 seconds. And they're like, yeah, go ahead, whatever. And you can see the concern on Miki Sagusa's face. So this container they've loaded him into, it's not a truck, I'm sorry, it's a container. They airlift it, helicopter. Why they didn't just put it in a truck and drive it somewhere, I don't know. But anyway, I guess that's faster. Makes for a better scene later when Radon comes by. And they're showing them riding in the container. And
I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny that the code name for this carrier, the helicopter, is Lizard One.
Lizard One. Wow. I didn't know that. That's funny. Well, okay then. Lizard One. And then Radon shows up. And they're all like, hey, where did he come from? It's another kaiju. What the hell? So some nice action, some nice special effects action, Radon flying over and destroying shit, which is always fun. And he destroys the helicopter and grabs onto the container and flies it away. And this is really the bridge, and there's the stadium in there. This is really the bridge to the final battle. And they call in Mechagodzilla again. I guess they were able to fix him. And this time, Kazuma is in Garuda. And there's his boss, Commander Takaki Aso. He's got his helmet on. Miki Sagusa is forced to join them inside Mechagodzilla because they need her to find the Godzilla nutsack to destroy it.
Right.
And she's not down with this completely. So.
No, she's not very happy about it. She's like, all right, I suppose.
Do what you're told. So Garuda and Mechagodzilla fart their way away. And the pilots are happy. Hey, we're back up in the air again. And it's night. It just turns into night instantly again. Radon is flying over the city and lands finally and starts pecking at the corner of the container, opening it up because he wants to get the creamy filling inside. And we see Azusa looking very concerned that he's going to get in it. And we see Kazuma very concerned for his girlfriend because he likes her. He's sweet on her. So he goes to save her. Baby's
and apparently they got the helmet from Howard Johnson's.
Is that a Howard Johnson's helmet?
Well, that's what it says. H. Johnson.
Oh, I thought it was A Johnson, Aoki. And we talked about that at the beginning before the show, that it says Johnson. on his helmet. Why the hell does it say Johnson? Is is that referring to his Johnson? Is that like a Maverick nickname? Yeah, man, I'm a Johnson.
Maybe he just grabbed a he just grabbed a helmet that was whatever was available, and it was
That's
somebody
it.
named
He doesn't
Johnson.
even get his own helmet. He's got to use some other poor schmo's helmet. So Radon is stopped from opening the container by the arrival of Mechagodzilla, who lays down close to him, and they start to fight. And we find out that Radon has got now a fire beam like Godzilla's, and his little horns on the back of his head glow before his you know how Godzilla's back spines glow before he does his heat ray. Radon's little horns on the back of his head glow before his heat ray. And what's funny is that the second in command inside Mechagodzilla, he's like the master of the obvious. He says, "It's a heat beam." Well, gosh, I'm glad you cleared that up for me. Okay. And he does that a couple of times during this scene. Again, this is a very long kaiju fight scene. It drags on for 30 minutes. It's like it's really a 25-minute fight scene. So they start using the lasers and the tasers and the plasma cannons and stuff on Radon. And eventually Garuda comes around and zaps him, which takes him away from the container, which is good. But unfortunately, Radon causes him to crash. He crashes into a little building there, and the commander, Takaki Asshole, he's such an asshole. He hates that guy. He hates Kazuma. He hates Aoki. But he has this little moment where he just goes, "Damn Radon." Or something like, "I hate Radon." So yeah, they start zapping Radon and getting revenge for what they think is the death of Kazuma Aoki. And they're just laying into Radon. And yeah, I mean, Radon, the plasma, they hit him with the plasma cannon. That's where he's poking his belly out for the plasma cannon, and it knocks Rodin into a building. The building collapses on top of him. It's a big building, collapses on top of him. It looks like Radon's out of action. That's going to be the death knell. But he actually pops up. Oh, by the way, Akira Ifukube did the music for this movie, and it's wonderful. It's a really good soundtrack. And again, he brings back the old Radon theme song from the earlier Showa series. And of course, you get the Godzilla dun 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 dun. You get the Godzilla theme. But the Radon theme, which is actually the Varan theme from Varan the Unbelievable. Da na 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 da na 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 da na na dun 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 dun. They use that a lot when Radon is doing his thing, which is cool. And he actually pecks out one of Godzilla's eyes here. He's not down yet. He's not finished yet. But yeah, they zap him again, and this time he goes down and he stays down. And again, that looks very reminiscent of the original Radon from the first movie. Like when the volcano at the end takes the two Radons and they fall, to Earth. Anyway, the helicopter lands. The Professor Omai actually is climbing up the back of this crate, this what do I call it? Container, until they pull him down. And go, we'll open it. Don't worry about it. So he's like, Azusa, are you there? And she's like, yes, I'm here. It's so baby Godzilla. We're good. And they start to open it. They start to, um,
Like welding it or
yeah,
blow torching it open or
when
something.
you say welding and soldering it, that's like actually fixing something, not actually opening it.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's that kind of concept. They're burning it open. They're burning through it, burning through metal. But they all kind of take a look to the left. Oops, oops. Like what the hell is that over there? And all the crowd there that's close by that's watching all of this, and they haven't run for their life. They look over to the left, and then the guys in the boardroom will look over to the left, and it's Godzilla. He's made it. He's coming out of the water again. Dun 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 dun. So he's heading towards the stadium, which is right next to the water.
And he's thinking, "Oh, thanks, fellas, for getting rid of Rodan for me. I'm here to collect my baby."
Yes. And so, Mechagodzilla faces off against Godzilla again. Now, Godzilla's got to be pretty confident here because he already kicked his ass once. He doesn't realize they got the G Crusher, the Nad Crusher. So they actually kind of pay homage to the '74 Godzilla movie because they do the thing where they put the heat rays together and it explodes because they're both powerful heat rays coming from both sides, which they did in the '74 movie. And Godzilla barrels through that stadium, which is kind of cool. And actually, again, gets his hands on Mechagodzilla. Don't let him get his hands on you because he's going to mess you up. And he slings him around, as is expected. But, they fight back. And Kazuma comes back in Garuda and starts attacking. That's his theme song, the Garuda theme song. So he's fighting. Hey, I'm back. Let's see if you can get that thing up. And they kind of distract Godzilla long enough for him to get Garuda around the back of Mechagodzilla, and they become a Super Mechagodzilla. That's coming up here. There it is. And what happens is he flies over the back, and he becomes like a backpack on Mechagodzilla, and the cannons fold over the shoulders. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And then he flies, and he's able to shoot the Garuda cannons. And it's actually pretty cool for Kazuma because now he's got a shield in Mechagodzilla. He doesn't have to worry about Godzilla hitting him with his heat ray. And of course, they're firing everything at Godzilla. And yeah, I mean, they're zapping Godzilla good.
Yes, it's not looking good for the big green guy.
Green? Gray?
Grayish green.
So they knock him down. And he's on the ground. And they decide, let's hit him with the G Crusher, which is the Nad Crusher. I'm telling you, they're going after his nads. And Miki Sagusa really doesn't want to be part of this, but they force her to do it. She's the one that has to find the nads and tell them when the nads are destroyed. And there they are. Come on, tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not even going to comment on that.
Again, they just didn't want to come right out and say it, so they call it another brain. So there it is. So Yes, they shoot off the um, after they find the nads, they shoot off the wrist tasers, and there it is. Um, and that goes into the body and basically tases, zaps, and destroys the sac, the sacs. And we actually see it. We actually see it being destroyed. Might be the next shot. Yep. That's it. Mickey's watching as it just disintegrates. And, you would think that would do Godzilla in. Hey, that's it. No nads.
Yes.
And he's not looking healthy at this point. He's looking kind of green. He's looking kind of sick.
they they just slapped my balls.
Oh, God, I'm not getting up from this one. So he's kind of making Godzilla noises, pitiful Godzilla noises, and Baby hears it, and Baby freaks out. And is that what I'm seeing here? No, there it is. Baby kind of freaks out and busts out of the container. And Rodan hears it. So what do we got here?
Mechagodzilla just blasting away at Godzilla.
Oh, blast! Yeah, and that's kind of cruel. I mean, after you've destroyed somebody's nads, that's really kicking him while he's down.
Really?
Yes. You want to make sure he's dead, or he's going to be dead. So again, yeah, Baby goes crazy hearing, his I guess for lack of a better word, dad, and Rodan wakes up going, "Hey, did they just zap his nads, dude?"
Oh, cool.
So Radon flies up, and Mechagodzilla, they see him in Mechagodzilla, and they zap him, and he goes down, but he goes down on top of Godzilla. And what happens next is kind of bizarre. It's kind of a Mothra move. He gives his life force, his power force to Godzilla. He kind of melds into Godzilla. And there it is. That's what's happening. And like you say, there's kind of some fairy dust floating around from this as well. And that's getting on Mechagodzilla, and it's burning the diamond casing on the Mechagodzilla somehow. And the Nadsac goes back together. And Miki Sagusa watches it, and she's kind of turned on by it. It repairs itself, and she says that to the others. The Nadsac's repairing itself. And the commander's like, "That's impossible. No one could do that." But Godzilla can. There goes Tokyo. Oh no, Godzilla. So, yeah, he wakes up and he's like, "Okay, gonna try to stomp my nads, are you?" And he is got a lot of power now. And he is just like mega bad now. And it's like, oh shit, we just opened up a can of whoop ass. And he hits with his heat ray has changed to Rodan's red heat ray color. And his fins light up red in the back before. And so he's become a different, more powerful, dangerous Godzilla. And again, the diamond coating on the outside of Mechagodzilla is melting away. So that's like their shield is gone now. So they try to, again, to fire their heat ray at his heat ray, and again, it blows back, and he ends up destroying Mechagodzilla. And it looks like it's completely destroyed inside and out. And all the people that are watching are like, oh, geez, we didn't see that coming. And it even says inside the Mechagodzilla, this has been destroyed. There's no survivors. And they're all looking at it going, hey, are we dead? No, we're alive. What the hell is it talking about? So they exit Mechagodzilla because it's destroyed. There's no way to get it up anymore. So they exit. And then Azuma tries to say her goodbyes to baby Godzilla because Godzilla's coming. He's coming for his baby. And they're like, yeah, get to the chopper. And they leave the baby there. And there's, a cute little scene where the baby grabs onto her dress with his teeth and like, don't go, that kind of thing. And I'll miss you. And I'll miss you too, Scarecrow. And they fly away. And there's a nice little shot of the baby Godzilla all by himself. And then Godzilla shows up. And he's scared. Baby Godzilla's scared. His eyes turn red. So they say, hey, Miki Sagusa, get Mickey on the radio. Can you make, Godzilla and the baby kind of like each other? And she goes, I'll try. And basically what it boils down to is she's just trying to make the baby settle down, not be scared. So we'll go with Godzilla. So we'll go with Dad. Dad's already on board with the plan. I'm taking you with me. And so he comes out of the container. His eyes are not red anymore. And he follows his dad to the ocean. And they make each other. Hey. Make little sounds to each other. It's like, okay, go with me. We're going to an island. And that's it. They walk off together. Go into the ocean, swim off together. And, we get the obligatory scene of everybody watching them go and giving a speech of some kind. Well, I guess he's had enough of civilization, That's in a couple of movies.
Basically, yes.
Yeah. And that's it. Last shot, Godzilla, baby, swimming out to sea. Which is how a lot of Godzilla movies end. And then we get the kind of the disclaimer. And they talk about the different characters, Mechagodzilla, Godzilla, Radon, Fire Radon, they all belong to Toho. So there. No Godzillas were hurt in the filming of this movie. No, their nads weren't crushed, really. And that's it. That's Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla II, 1993. And we went long again, an hour and 10 minutes. I hope you enjoyed this. Next time, we're doing Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. And you'll see that the baby is transformed into a much cuter, pudgier baby Godzilla. And by the way, I was wearing the shirt for this movie. You can see Radon on the shirt. Yes. Now I can sell this on eBay. So
there you go.
We're past it. We're done. All right. So there it is. Thank you again for coming and watching Roland Pruitt's Kaiju review. We're sorry that Anastasia wasn't with us tonight. The show's always much better when she's here. She gives her woman perspective on it. Unfortunately, she's busy doing some things. But hopefully she'll be back soon. Again, take care and keep watching Kaiju films. thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. Thanks.